The Simpsons is a cartoon that predicted the future many years ago. After seeing the visuals from this cartoon and the activities happening in the present time, you will also be forced to wonder how this could be possible. Take this image from 2017, which you must have seen somewhere, where Donald Trump, along with several other people, is seen placing their hands on a globe. But you might be wondering what's so special about this image that I'm showing it to you. Well, this exact scene was already shown in an episode of The Simpsons 15 years ago. You can clearly see in this photo that the same people are present, and there is a significant similarity between the images. The Simpsons had already shown this exact scene in one of its episodes 15 years ago. But where did all of this begin? And which predictions made by The Simpsons have actually come true so far? In this video, we will discuss all these things in detail. After going through all this information, you will also be shocked. The Simpsons started on December 1st, 1989, and it is a legendary cartoon in itself. Even though it was already quite popular in The Simpsons cartoon, the events shown in The Simpsons turned out to be real years later, which further increased its popularity. Now, we will talk about all these things and discuss which predictions made by The Simpsons have actually come true. In March 1995, an episode of The Simpsons featured a bridge in London. However, there was one thing in that image that didn't even exist at that time: the concept of a tower. Then, 17 years later, a tower almost identical to the one shown in the episode was built in the same location. Today, it is known as the Red. But how did The Simpsons make such an accurate prediction? Came true 17 years later. In the year 2000, an episode of The Simpsons featured a president who blamed the previous president's policies for certain issues. Interestingly, she specifically mentioned President Donald Trump, holding him responsible for the situation. But the surprising thing is that when this episode was released, Trump was just a businessman, and there was no sign of him ever becoming president. Then, 16 years later, in 2016, Donald Trump actually became the president of the United States for the first time. In another episode, The Simpsons showed Trump coming down an escalator. And we saw the exact same scene in real life in 2015. In a 1998 episode of The Simpsons, a list was shown, predicting that the people on it would receive a Nobel Prize in the future. Upon examining the list, it was found that one of the names was Homer, who actually received a Nobel Prize in 2016. This episode was released in 1998, and according to its prediction, Homer won the Nobel Prize in 2016. Throughout The Simpsons episodes, we have seen many predictions that have later turned out to be true in the future. And The Simpsons also made a prediction about Fox Century. In a 1998 episode, you can clearly see that under the Fox Century logo, it is written, "A division of Walt Disney Company." But at that time, Fox Century was not owned by Walt Disney. Then, 21 years later, Walt Disney actually bought the studio. These were some of the predictions by The Simpsons that made the show incredibly popular. I tried to explain it briefly, so you don't have to watch a long video. Well, you can share your thoughts on this. Or if short videos like this are enough for you to understand. Well, because of the events and visual predictions shown in this cartoon, the show became extremely popular. The real question is, how can the visuals shown in this cartoon be so accurate? There could be many reasons behind this, but we will discuss that another day. If you like this video, comment for part 2, and don't forget to check out all these other videos. You'll love them. Alright, I'm off now. For making a new video. Thank you so much. Guys,